help. What sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
That rooster thinks he's such hot stuff, posing for Jerome like that. Someone ought to tell him his waddle waggles when he crows, same as the rest.
I sort of concerns myself with such things.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward...
Oh, no, noble friend. Your upper chakras are in desperate need of a good scrubbing. Fortunately for you, my homebrewed tinctures will do the job. Or if you're in the mood for something a bit more electrifying, what...
A source hunter will always receive a warm welcome at the Town Hall of Sisal. I'm sure Mayor Cecil is looking forward to making your acquaintance.
A source hunter will always receive a warm welcome at the Town Hall of Sisal. I'm sure...
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine corporate land.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sisal is abuzz about. The talk of the town. The juiciest grape on the grapevine. Such a pleasure to meet you. A delight. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate has put me on this very spot so I may tell you all about a most intriguing opportunity indeed.
Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason. That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path. Chips, cheese, tomatoes.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Chancellor and I were anything near allies, but I truly never wish the man harm.
Now I wonder where that cagey Baron of Ferrum has sneaked off to.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Well, hello there. The likes of which I doubt you could even fathom.
I think I'm one of the last folks to hear him alive. That awful scream's been ringing in my ears ever since. And with the room where it all happened still under quarantine, we've a constant reminder of exactly what happened. Though that's the question, isn't it? What exactly did happen? We all thought it was Esmeralda who checked into that room, and the Duke that followed her in. I was washing up and nudging the last of the lushes out of the door when a cloaked woman rushed in right past me. I never got a good look at her, damn my eyes, but I figured the way she disappeared that she was visiting one of the lodgers. Lucky for the perpetrators, I was rinsing bottles in the back when the terrible deed took place and saw nothing more. I'm not proud to say I ducked under the counter and damn well stayed there till I heard Ivad fling that door open, but I was paralyzed with fright. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Do I I seem like the sort who concerns myself
Join
with
the
such
Spud
things?
Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
May the big cheese on your blood for the wheel of the good stuff.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots. Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Well, hello there.
Been at the King Crab nearly 10 years now, personally. Seen every character you can imagine, from bums to wizards, passed through these doors for a pint and a place to rest.
This batch is only hours from the sea.
You think you can speak that way?
Never saw you in the king crab before. You're welcome to scratch me behind the ears if you like. I won't scratch back. By all means. People make a fuss about them because they endanger the lands around the city. They never bother me when I'm out for my monthly walk, though. But still, I do detest them. I mean, they're so unnatural, aren't they? Cats can have 9 lives, but humans are only entitled to 1. I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank, and I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. The people here were kind and took me in. Been the king crab's foremost patron ever since. A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told. Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right neath the lighthouse. Not very apt a name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it. The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. But I was alive, and that was more...
The finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pocket.
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my day just became rather more stimulating. Oh, stand still then, if you don't mind. I want to take a good long look at this tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face, quite classical, isn't it? Statuesque, some might say. Yes, smooth and sturdy as marble, yet fine as a chisel's edge. And my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Please forgive my being forward, but I dare say, can it be? Well, that I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. Like existence itself lacked a significant component. Like if you could only fill a certain void, could connect with the right body, the right spirit. Together you could uncover new and thrilling vistas.
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around the market, isn't it?
To the slice of this fine golden
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
So you're just hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
Oh, you think you can speak that way?
Well, suffice to say it, I've
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer, then. Closer, huh? My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. Oh, what? Oh, you mean Seal. Very difficult times indeed. As though the death of Jake, and by source magic no less, weren't enough. The undead have overrun all but one northern trade route, while the orcs, that's not to mention that at the top of this whole caboodle, there's rumors of some new religious sect. And, while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves a magic relic. What of what now? Oh, you're speaking gibberish. Ah, You mean the Staff of Pergamon? Yes, yes. I was expecting a shipment of weapons, and among the cargo was this very powerful, very rare. Cecil proved an old fool, though. For the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damn thing has gone missing. The staff itself contains a shard of an ore, highly valued for its use in the weapons of war. I know use of the material to be forbidden, but I was desperate to do something to aid the townsfolk against the undead.
Really now, I can't afford to indulge in chit-chat with my legion of followers. Even a star needs a few moments to himself.
Ah, pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so kind. Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval.
Hearty welcome to the King Crab Inn, and a pleasure to have you. You look like you could use a round or three, so what'll it be? Have a seat and stay a while. Psst. Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject? Death and dark magic ain't exactly great for business, you know. That room where it happened, it was rented to a certain woman, though I regret to say I can't say exactly who. This inn isn't in the business of asking many questions, if you know what I mean. She came heavily cloaked, but paid the full sum in advance. I was used to such transactions after many similar concerning a certain Esmeralda. Figured this were just more at same. I saw one other figure go into the room that night. Someone tall, built broad like a man, but shrouded the same as she. Again, standard practice for Mrs. Counselor and her visitors. I was startled awake by a horrendous hubbub shortly after midnight. I jumped up and grabbed me grandpappy's machete, bleary-eyed and awash in fright.
Oh, how nice it is of you. The very picture of... Pray, let me be forward with you. Oh, sapling rose, oh, leaf of spring. For my weary mind is troubled, and would highly prize thy gentle-handed assistance, thy kind... I am but an aged elf that has seen the years parade in long succession. Gladly shall I tell you more. Will I regale thee, O whelp of men, with my tale? But not here, where the winds may steal my words.
Lighting my pipe.
Esmeralda's longest-standing lover has the audacity to remain lodged at this very inn, you know. He's called the Duke of Ferrell, a high title for a low man. If you haven't yet asked him...
Hot spiced wine and a snug little room awaits us on the King Crab's first floor. Let us go there, so that we can...
Do I seem like the sort who can...
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him. You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do.
Challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge.
Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission.
My hand to your cause and my sword at your side. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either, but ones who've taken dark magic to new heights.
Tell me, Alistair.
What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup. By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Sicil hinterlands. Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now, but perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Councillor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator.
The sort of concerns myself with such...
Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained-up trio of sauce hunters. That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius shaking in his wee boots.
Have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge? They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Watch out! I smell... the fierce stench of Frightensaw's goblin.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes.
Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soul.
Ask away, my friend, ask away. Always helps to know a thing or two about who's covering your back against the gnashing hordes, eh? More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod to topple a small mountain. There's Mayor Cecil's doings for one, and the mysteries of our master Thalron for another. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't natural. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear farther than the tip of his nose. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's gotten himself mixed up in something not quite on this side of the law. I suspect an illegal source artifact or substance is the root of it, but exactly what or who's given it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Sicil, I don't have the authority to interrogate him.
They call me a They're the problem, my friend. But those who know the ways of the Fabulous Five see no problems. They see, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlong. Our mission, to better the world. Our mantra, to better ourselves as we do so. To realize our dreams and cleanse our souls.
Most of the townsfolk are certain Jake's wife Esmeralda is responsible. In fact, the Legion have taken her into protective custody to keep her safe from the mob. As you can imagine, I've known Esmeralda for years. That business between her and the Duke of Ferrol was always a bit suggestive. But I've never had cause to suspect her of violence. Still, one never knows for sure. An all-right bloke, apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense. The whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Sicil is to spend a night or two at the King Crab Inn with Mrs. Counselor.
You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have questions, I shall answer them to the best of my abilities. But if not, what a gem of a question. Straight as now then. To join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of Knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the by now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say work hard? Fulfill contracts. Enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Riverlong. You will make the stars shine all the brighter. And you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What?
This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, on one condition. That on our joint travels we will never deal with Most gratifying. I see you are firm of purpose and thereby ready to descend. Descend into the madness that is sorcery. Into the depths where demons dance. Gladly shall I follow you into the abyss. Onward, blood and triumph await.
Ha! The closest I've got to my match is when I linger over long while writing my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's growing more swollen than saffrons, I dare say.
In the name of Amon-Hor, I bid thee Tujda Geta Hal. Be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friendship is mine. I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it? When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Sicil toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amon-Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that chance had put in his way. He raised me like I was his own, this kindest of souls, taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters. Thus, I became the city's librarian, a position I uphold with no small diligence and pride. Turjageta, friend. Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can ask is that you return the books you borrow so that others may enjoy them too.
My name is Eglandir Twil Salanar, elf of the House of Gandavum, the slaughtered house of Gandavum. But by the twin blades of the Shadow Vixen, I shall have my revenge. The walls of memory are stained with blood, and I would see them. The game, yes! A game of blood and brutality, of death and dexterity. Fun as herring the horror harlequin. But, like the serpentine stalker hisses before the stab, hush now. Dark. The elves of Gandavum, they lived in peace. Oh, yes. But one night, when the moon had hid her face, the orcs of the tribe of Kazuldagar beset our city. They cooked and ate, all undone. Every last one of us. Except for me, the midnight rambler, away from the city. I was very old back then already. Though indeed I whisper of many years hence. But death shall not find me. Oh no, not until every beast of Kazuldagar has been bled.
Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Sternticken.
I may be frail, a withered grey, but the wealth of kings is mine. Countless assassins have ministered to the vengeance that is my want, and now is almost over. By Kala, Lady of the Last Gaze, I swear it is almost done. Only the very last one of the Kazuldagar still eludes me. The crowning kill that would seal its fate and mine alike. I have tracked her down. By the curse of the spine spear I have. She does not know her ill-shapen sun is setting fast. Color the dusk red, O sword of youth. Bloody the day with the bramble sap that runs through the veins of Victoria. Yes, Victoria. She is the one whose heart must be held in hand. The heart around which the fingers of that hand must clench and tighten until its choking flesh bulges with blood and its beat slowly breaks.
The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing...
The orcs of Kazuldagar. They knew my name. Oh, yes. By the bite of the roving rattler, they knew my design. And so they sought to save their last. An infant. She who was to be queen. To no avail. Oh, no. Years, how many I know not. Years I searched. And now she has been found.
But of course, darling. Be my guest.
Ah. Such beauty, such grace they have. Magnificent.
Her name is that of a woman. Her employment that of a civilized being. But by the fork of Barbara Man-Eater, she is nothing but an orc. A sister of nature. One of a misbegotten litter dragged into life from the tumid womb of a filthy, coarse-haired beast that was humped like a dog in the darkness of a stinking hollow.
In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda, dearest. I'm just doing my duty, you know. For the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear, milady. As long as I'm around, no hair on your haloed head. Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. Were that I had been there to partake in the battle. But my duties lie here, sworn as I am to protect Lady Esmeralda from the rabble that would enforce summary justice on her, even though she is, until proven guilty, wholly innocent. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. And I have traveled more extensively than migratory birds do. She stands accused of murder, but in my mind, her presumed guilt is a fallacy, and indeed a fabrication. Steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver unless absolute proof of her culpability should be brought before me. Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicile. The Council of Seven couldn't have wished for a better ambassador. That he of all people should have braved the undead siege for so long, only to be felled by foul sorcery, is heartrending. And what questions are those?
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my complete innocence in the matter? Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer fanged and tried, but everyone suspects me of this evil deed. And you're no different, are you? So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations truly go beyond the pale. Oh, I think I'm getting one of my headaches.
She seems to be quite adamant about her innocence. I'll need to look for evidence if I want to prove she did the evil deed.
Sumar Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Of Sumar Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Move along.
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in. Oh, but let us not discuss. Let us browse and barter.
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog!
Careful, comrade. I think I sense a sorcerer in yonder shadows.
Why is she keeping those on hand anyhow? Sentimental reasons?
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money...
One coin or two? noble spirit? 1 coin or 2? May the soul of Astarte smile upon you.
How gratifying to see you return. That I am. I have spent more of my life on the road travelling alongside great caravans than I have in any given place in Rivellon. All of this... You wouldn't believe some of the things I have seen. Oh yes, a city besieged.
Shut about face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Ugly will be the
That's
least
it,
of
troops.
us.
Train up while you can.
In that
The
case,
next
you'll have the
orcish
pleasure
strike
of
could
putting
land
her
at
down
any moment.
yourself.
I wish for you to try it.
Greetings, traveller. And may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and... You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the... Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The Conduit, our link to the goddess herself, has given us a special gift, and the gift is thus. Recruits! That was
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
I'd say you ought to take her off our hands if you had the space. Though we couldn't guarantee she'd do more than piddle on the floor and maul your furniture.
What have we here, then? The so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicile, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear? Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. But he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined. But report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition. If you must.
How can I help you, my friend? But certainly, What would you like to know? Oh, I am but a wizard, a guardian of man and beast, and indeed I am both. My body, like any other, is bound to temporal decay. But my spirit is a speck of light that shone forth from the eternal sun that is the cosmic soul. My task upon this earth is to protect the heart of nature, the very antithesis of which is the intrigue spun by demons and directors of the dead. Hence my involvement in Sicil. You see, my one desire is to witness a world in which every mother looks around her and purrs with calm contentment. For she knows that her chicks or children, her cubs or calves, will grow up without knowing the meaning of menace, the enfeeblement of fear. To my great regret, none of them purr as yet.